I think okay. Nope, I don't see myself. Okay. End stream. Hey, what's up, traders? Welcome to Forex Gym. My name is George, and we're gonna start a daily Forex analysis for 1st of April 2020. So we're gonna start jumping to the screens. Actually, before we do that, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I'm making the daily Forex analysis going on live Monday to Friday at 8 a.m. UK time. Also, I'll do a weekly Forex analysis as well as a ton of other videos about the Forex psychology and anything that help you to improve your trading. So let's go jump into straight to the MetaTrader. Oops, yeah, I'm on there. So we're gonna start with, actually I have not looked at the charts that much, but we're gonna start, and actually Eurodollar moved pretty nicely. Let's start with a US dollar against Japanese yen. That's the one currency I was looking, but didn't have a chance to have a look at the a lot of them, so I only looked at a few currencies. So let's start with the US dollar against Japanese yen. So in the last couple of days for these, they don't look as appealing to me that I want to trade that much. It's only setting up. When the setup comes in, it's not that great. So sometimes I just look at it and it looks good at that time, but then when the price does something or the way candles close, I don't like it and I just leave it alone. So in this case, let's go to the 4-hourly chart. It looks like on a short-term wise towards downside, and I do want to see a bit more on this one. Yesterday you had this run up a bit. I was waiting for this one to come up to this weekly pivot up here. I think I did mention it on my daily Forex analysis yesterday, but we can see that it did not quite manage to get up there, and then it started turning around. It got to, so it took out these highs down here, and then it started turning around, and it's now it's came down to test these lows down here. I did mention that as well. The price do like to do that. But unfortunately it don't get to my entry. So for now, where I'm looking, so because it has this nice down an hourly candle, it's now looking nicely bearish. I want to see, so when I looked at it earlier, about two hours ago roughly, I was looking and then I'm waiting if the candle's gonna, if the price is gonna come up to these highs, but then it came up, and the way it looks now, I think it has a bit more to push even higher. And for these, for the, as of the resistance on this case, this one looks stronger at 107, about 107.75 zone. We got these high, same as these highs here, and it's close to these, excuse me, and these lows as well. So it's more it looks stronger than just these highs, and we can see now the price is even breaking that. So I do want to see this price to come up here, and also the way it's gonna come up. That's another question on that. Ideally, I want to see this one taking another hour. So if this candle closes pretty much where it stands at the moment, this small, if it doesn't cover as much ground, then, and then for the following hour, which is in just after 55 minutes, if it closes like this and then comes up in the following hour to these highs, then it will be more shows me a bit more weakness. So I would be rather looking for these to short it. But for now, I'm gonna kind of observe it and see how it's gonna do. If it comes up in this hour, which it can do easily, it's only 8 o'clock. It just started 6 minutes ago, so it has enough time to come up and even break these highs. So I do want to see this candle coming up to these highs. We can see it's not that far away. It's only like 10-12 pips away. So if the candle comes up here for the next hour, then I will be looking to short it. Also, if it's gonna set up, you can see that it's coming up. So see what it's gonna do. It's under the question. So if the price, so let's say if the price comes up at 107.80, let's call for the simplicity for that one. We would be looking for. We'll be looking about 20 pips. It was 108.98. So you would be looking about 22 pips. Ideally, probably 25 pips on that. 25 pips stop, and then we're gonna short it there with a 25 pip stop. For the target wise, I would leave this to run. Let's see, 10700. So 10700 looks okay. 10700, we got this low, 4-hourly low down here. We got these lows down here. But I think if it's gonna come down for another, we see that it came already down. It's tested this low down here, and I do think if it comes down again, then it's probably gonna want to break that and continue to fall. May even want to come down and take out these this spike, or I think it's more likely this one because this is closer. So probably want to come down and take out this spike low down here, which is 106.70, about 106.70 zone. So for that one gives, so if we short it here at what was the level I said, 107.80. If we short it there, sorry, it wasn't 107.80. Yeah, 107.80 with a 25 pips stop. We're gonna run it to, let's say down here, 106.80. So we'll be looking at about 100 pip stop for the 100 pip profit with a 25 pip stop loss. So that will be 1 to 4 risk reward, which is great. So this is what I'm looking at right now. Still kind of under the question. I do want to see what it's gonna do for this in the especially this hour and the following hour. If it starts setting up, then I'll be looking to jump in. I don't think in terms of that it's not gonna change anything in this hour, because I'm waiting for this hourly candle to close. So let me just put this one, the marker here, just in case. I do want to have a look at it, what's gonna happen. Okay, so that was the US dollar against Japanese yen. Let's have a look what we had here. US dollar against Canadian dollar. For the daily, yesterday, this candle, yesterday's candle, we see that it put this like an inverted hammer candle, but then now it is coming back up. The trend, the big trend is up, so it has this deeper retracement, but it's still a retracement for the bigger trend, and now the price is going up. On this one, I had a short-term view towards short side. I mean towards sell side, short-term view towards sell side. But now it's kind of, my view is kind of starting to shift now. But I do want to see for this price to push a bit higher, to have a bit more confirmation, see what it wants to do, if it wants to come and start rally higher. So this 4-hourly candle looks good, but I do want to see a more confirmation. We have this 4-hourly and an hourly trend line. So this 4-hourly trend line, it's been tested several times already. So if the price comes up that high, there's a good chance that it's gonna break it. For now, I do want to see the price come up and ideally break this this high, and coming up towards this trend line. Actually, so this high is at 142.30. I do want to see for this candle to come up. Let's have a look at the hourly first and see what's gonna. The trend line is here. So if the 142.60, 142.60, so 140.30 is these highs, and we go to this. It's a bit tricky on the hourly. 30 is up here, 42.30. We got these highs down here. I do want to see them see the price breaking that high. So if that comes up at 142.50, so we want to see the retracement. 142. Around 142.60, I do want to see the price come up here and close nicely bullish to show some strength. I want to see the close of bullish, nice bullish candle, like the similar to the previous 4-hourly candle. This candle here, this looks good. So I do want to see come up, this candle to come up and close nicely, looking strong. So around the 142.60 zone, and then I do want to see a retracement towards down to 142.20. So either one of them, 142.50 or 60 zone, would be decent. And then I do want to see the price to retrace down here. We got at 142.20 zone. So we got this. There's a lot of price action here. We got these lows and highs. We highs in here, and we got this high. So it should act as a good support on that, but only if the price has to come up and break this zone in here. This for now it's a resistance zone, but when it breaks and retraces back to that area, then it becomes support. So I don't want to see this one, so it's still developing. I can't really say any entries or stop losses on that one. Okay, let's move to the, so we got USD Canada, we did USD Japanese yen. Let's have a look at the euro against Australia. I do love this currency, but then it's like a love-hate relationship on this one, because it can be a bit of a pain and you can suffer quite a bit of slippage on that one. But then if you got it right and you get to that profit target, you can get so much pips out of it, then it's definitely worth it, especially if you have a tight stop. And then I had on a few occasions, I think it was this one and British pounds against Japanese yen, that I got probably had about 30 pip stop loss, but then I got like 350 to 400 pips out of it. So you can imagine the risk reward is massive. So on this one, it doesn't really look like it wants me to. Doesn't look like that I want to trade this currency for now. It does not giving me much of a. No, I don't. I don't like it. It still needs to develop, either push higher and break this daily R1, and even that. Okay, let's leave that currency. I don't particularly like. I do like to discuss the is when it's close to developing and there's a potential for the entry for the next, it could be the next hour, next couple of hours on a day trade basis. So let's move to the was it euro against US dollar on this one. So let's have a look at the daily chart. So we had this crazy move, was the last few weeks back, and then we had this correction or the retracement. But the way it's now, it's come up. It's looking strong. The come up to the long side looking pretty strong. So now we have this. Ouch. That's mine. That's fine. So we have an accident here. I think I still look okay. It still looks bright. So that was my, what do we call it? The light. Where did I stop? So the daily chart, the price is coming down. It looks like it might even want to continue towards short side, but let's go to the shorter time frame. I do want to see the price to continue to have a bit of a rally towards upside before I jump into the long side. But for now, we had this retracement down. The price came up now, and then now it's came up, and now it's dropping down again. So it's kind of up and down. The short term is turning towards downside, and I do still want to see a bit more movement on it to see more to be more sure of my depending what strategy using and what setup using. For me now, this is not the best time to trade in this type of conditions. So I do want to see a bit more, and is that I have like a specific requirements he has to meet. So it's like a kind of checklist in a way. So I've got the one thing, like let's say as an example, I got the trends, then he has to do a certain pattern, and then I have an execution. So it's like kind of like a three-step process. So he has to meet all that three requirements before I take the trade. So it does not I don't just like jump in unless there's like a very minor exceptions that I do that, but it's an exception. It has to be like one out of, I don't know, 1 out of 50 or 1 out of like 40. So it's, yeah, there's only an exception. So I do have that process I follow. So for now, I do not particularly like it. I do want to see for this one to either calm down if it's going to continue towards downside, or turn around and start breaking and join this big trend. Not big trend, but the sort of the one looks like a retracement for now. So either way, I do want to see for the move either upside or downside. So now it doesn't really giving me much. So it can go down, the price can come down to these lows and turn around and can come back up to these highs and just like mess around. So for now, I'd rather just take a step back and wait to see what it's gonna do. So if the price comes down and starts breaking these lows, then it's gonna start looking interesting. I do want to see the price to break. Let's say if the price breaks down, if the price even comes down here, that I will be definitely happy for that. Then I will be waiting. I would wait for the retracement to up to these highs. That will be a very good retracement, which comes into play near to this spike low, and then we go down this low here. So that's, but it's about 80 pips, so it's quite a bit of moves. Also, we have few news on the, yeah, we got quite a decent news out as a Forex Factory on Wednesday. Yeah, we got the ADP non-employment change that does create some volatility, and we have also ISM manufacturing PMI. So they generally create volatility at least at some point, and sometimes when it only needs a bit of a push before it starts breaking down. So maybe that one's going to create that push. However, that said, we have a big news on Friday. It's a non-farm payroll day, so that generally creates a lot of volatility. There's only, I think I've experienced on a few cases that it did not actually move the market, which was quite surprising. So let's jump into. So either the price comes down and breaks it. It's probably not going to happen up until the news is out, if it's going to even do that, or if the price starts breaking these highs, which is at 110.30. Then I'll be looking to long side place. Maybe after it breaks and shows more strength, then I'll be looking to the long side. But for now, it's kind of observation only. Right, move to the next one. Aussie, let's see more opportunities. Discuss that. New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand on the dollar pairs, they look kind of similar, really. Although this one looks better. So let's do the New Zealand dollar against US dollar. So for the, starting with the daily chart, we see that the trend is down, of course. And for now, we see yesterday we had this nice down day for the bearish, and the candle closed pretty good. So if we drill down to the shorter time frame, it's not enough for me to start already shorting it. I do want to see a bit more breakdown on this one. Ideally, it has not even tested this weekly pivot yet. It has not tested the weekly pivot. It kind of came down and like air kissed it, but I do want to see break of these weekly pivots, and then, so let's say what was on a weekly pivot, so it's 58.91, so it's about 15 pips away, it's not that far. 58.91. So I do want to see the price coming down and breaking this daily S1 as well, ideally, at least. If the price comes down here, so this is at 58.51. So if the price, so the price, I want to see the price come down, break this daily S1 and weekly pivots on the way, and close bearish, close a nicely bearish candle, like the similar to the last hourly candle. This one, this candle here, that will look good. That makes a very good potential. And if then the price decides to retrace and give the honor, then I will be looking to short it around at what we said, so down to here we'll be looking at 58.51, probably a bit more further up. So if it retraces at 58, well, 58.80 zone, we got this small high here and we got this spike high, these two spike highs here, so that will be a decent resistance. Then I will be looking to go short. As of the stop wise, we would be looking, so let's call it 58.80 for the simplicity, if the price returns there. 58.80, 900. It will be looking about 25 pip stop on that one. But if the price, it's not just around where these highs are, but if the price decides to push that high, then probably another look at it how it's going to go, because that's another potential entry if the price comes up here, and see if it's gonna give the setup and give it another go for the short trade. So if the first one got stopped out, then I'll be looking for the second potential entry about, was that 58 15, almost at 5900, and then stop on that one. If we, let's call it 58.95, 58.95.05, so we'll be looking about, it's almost a similar 22-25 pip stop, but then for the potential to the target, it's further away from the target, which gives them more pips out of it, and it's good for the risk reward. So let's have a look at the potential target. So 5800, that will be the first one. So if we get into 58.85, okay, that's not good. So 5800 is not gonna cut it. Pull it down here. 57.70, that's another potential target. 57.70. We got this low and then this spikes down here. Let's see if it's anything else. 50. Okay, we don't have much going on only as of the pivots. So that will be a decent, still again gives about 100 to 110 pips roughly. With a 25 pip stop, you're still looking at the about 1 to 4, just over 1 to 4 risk reward on the first entry, and on the second entry is a bit higher than that. So as of the risk reward comes in, is still good. So that was the 4 currency. Let's see if anyone said anything. What pair is this? Oh, someone asked Segal. Which one you mean? I just analyzed the 4 currencies, so if you can, did not see that the comment earlier. The video is coming a bit delayed, so you might getting just not as up to date as I'm seeing it right now. Even on my video is coming a bit late. I think it, damn. I will include the what pairs I analyzed. That was the 4 pairs. I will include in the description as well as in the title, so which were the pairs. This light doesn't like me. So the first pair was USD Japanese yen, US dollar against Canadian dollar, and we followed by euro against US. And the last one was New Zealand dollar against US dollar. Now we see that this one coming down nicely. So US, right, USD. So I'll type it in here. So that was the first US dollar, followed by, oops, actually, US dollar in Japanese yen, US dollar against Canadian dollar. That was the second, and we had euro dollar and euro against US dollar, and then New Zealand against euro against US dollar, and we had NZDUSD. So these were the 4 currencies I have analyzed on these occasions. So this is going about, okay, this is only going about 26 minutes, so I'm gonna log off. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you're gonna subscribe for my channel. I'm doing this daily Forex analysis Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. UK time, as well as the weekly Forex analysis. I normally upload the weekly Forex analysis on Saturdays, and I also do another videos about the more information you need about trading psychology mainly, and anything that will help to improve your trading. So I will see you guys on my next video. And the stream.